Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tom Tyree, Superintendent of Schools for Yuma County, and I have the privilege of being the Master of Ceremonies for this evening's event. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 34th Annual Teacher of the Year celebration. Our event is brought to you tonight as a result of a unique partnership between the Education Foundation of Yuma County and the Rotary Clubs of Yuma. Our theme this year is Technology Advancing Education. We gather this evening to honor education and education's contributions to our community. We're excited to have in the room with us tonight the 15 Teacher of the Year finalists who are here for the announcement of the category winners in the 2021 Teacher of the Year, as well as Education Foundation board members, school administrators, and special guests. We also welcome our virtual viewers watching tonight on the Education Foundation YouTube feed and on Facebook. At this time, I'd like to ask you to please join TJ Thorpe, the 2019 Yuma County Teacher of the Year, as he leads us in saying our Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Well, thank you, TJ. Next, Mrs. Nancy Blitz will provide a memorial recognition for those we have lost in education this past year, followed by an invocation.
We remember the following individuals who worked in education in Yuma County who have passed away since our last gathering. Sergio Gudino, lead mechanic. Alfonso Dominguez, custodian in the Gadsden School District. Jose Reynoso, teacher and administrator at Harvest Prep in the Gadsden School District and education administrator for the state prison. Andy Greenwell, teacher and coach. Francis Sylvia Dahin, lunch worker in Yuma District 1. Jerry Dunphy, plumber in the Crane School District. Mary Helen Twiss, bus driver. Charles C. Hurtado, custodian in District 1. James Ross Jim Carruthers, former president at Arizona Western College. Bonavir Bonnie Stour, substitute teacher in East County Schools. Catherine Louise Miller Ransom, librarian in the Crane School District. Steve Shadle, board member at Arizona Western College, former board member in the Crane School District and in Yuma District 1. Marie Faye Coyote Ortega, teacher's aide at Carlisle Elementary. Mary Louise Echandia, bookkeeper in District 1. Francis B. Daniel, associate director and substitute teacher in the Yuma High School District and at Arizona Western College. Doris J. Schneer Parker, administrative office worker in Yuma District 1. Enrique Henry Hernandez, teacher in the Somerton School District. Mary Ann Sievert, teacher, O.C. Johnson Elementary School. Carmel Louise Nepper, teacher, Carver Elementary. Ellen Wilkins Wolf, art teacher, Northern Arizona University Yuma Branch Campus. Deborah Ferguson, teacher. Craig Pemberton, teacher at Centennial Middle School and later at San Luis Middle School. LaRue D. Nelson, teacher, Yuma District 1. John Anthony Dalabetta, band director, Yuma High School. Marianne Holland, teacher. Joseph Edward Michaud, bus driver, Yuma District 1. Cleo Nadine Carlson, instructional aide at Raleigh School. Shirley Yvonne Krause Lee, who worked in the accounting office in the Crane School District. Ana Vasquez, office staff member at Cibola, San Luis High School, and in the high school district office. Dr. Robert Cannell, director of school health centers for both the Crane School District and Yuma District 1. Gilbert Rosales Tapia Jr., custodian at Woodard Junior High. Adair Bentley, teacher at San Pascual. Mary Helen Mejia Espinosa, a clerk at Carver Elementary School. Melba Long, the cafeteria manager at Carlisle School in Somerton. Carol Jean De La Jontaine, NAU Yuma, teacher of nursing. Gail Elizabeth Inman, nurse at Yuma High School. Lois Elaine May, teacher at Rancho Viejo and Ronald Reagan Schools. Leonor Castaños, an instructional aide at Kofa High School. Anne Shu Stocking, teacher, Rancho Viejo. Raymond Rufus Drysdale, teacher, Yuma County Superintendent of Schools, and founder of the Education Foundation of Yuma County, and co-founder of this event, the Teacher of the Year Banquet. Patricia Peña, custodian at Gila Ridge High School. Lola Nell Baker Durazo, teacher at Raleigh in Yuma and Carlisle School in Somerton. Armando P. Reina, teacher, Kofa High School. Sydney Allison Schmidgall, bus driver, Yuma School District Transportation System. Diana Noriega, teacher in the Somerton School District. Chris Pelfrey, assistant baseball coach, Antelope High School. Mike Myers, facilities supervisor at Cibola High School. Yolanda Atondo, the business facilitator at Yuma High School. And Guadalupe G. Ruby Flores, who worked in accounts payable at Yuma School District number 1. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we are grateful for this opportunity this evening to gather to celebrate educators and education. It's been a challenging year for teachers, for administrators, for students, for the entire planet as we've moved through this global pandemic. Teachers' skills have been amplified by the use of technology to reach their students. They've taught on Zoom, online, in person, in hybrid settings, and our teachers have reached their students to move them forward with their education. We are so thankful for our teachers and for their passion and drive to educate our children in Yuma County. We ask in their behalf for continued dedication to their profession and to their students as they go through these more than challenging times. Bless them, bless their administrators and students, and bless this event where we celebrate them and all of their hard work. We ask for guidance as we continue through this period of COVID. Keep us focused and grant us all health as we look to the future of education going back to a more normal environment, a healthy environment, where there is no longer fear of being in a classroom with normal interactions among students and teachers. Bring us through to that day, and in the meantime, grant all our educators the patience, determination, and strength to make a difference in the lives of their students. We are most grateful and blessed, Heavenly Father, to be here this evening to celebrate these heroes. Amen.
Thank you, Nancy. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jamie Sheldall, Superintendent of Yuma School District 1 and this year's President of the Yuma Education Foundations of Yuma County. Jamie will conduct our annual business meeting this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Tyree. Each year, an annual meeting of the Education Foundation of Yuma County is held in Yuma County in conjunction with the annual Hall of Fame and Yuma County Teacher of the Year Awards. At the annual meeting, elected members to the Board of Directors are installed. Because of the COVID pandemic, no annual meeting was held in 2020. Therefore, directors for the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 will be installed tonight. It is my pleasure to announce the following elected directors to the Board of the Education Foundation. Class of 2020, Nancy Blitz, Frank Nunez, John Kovezdi, and Clint Harrington. Class of 2021, Shelley Mellon, Miriam Limon, Regina Toomey, and Mike Dane. The Board of Directors has also voted on officers to fill the next two-year term from 2021 to 2023. The officers are President Miriam Limon, Vice President Shanna Johnson, Treasurer Tom Tyree, and Secretary Nancy Blitz. The Board of Directors of the Education Foundation of Yuma County congratulates the newly appointed directors and elected officers. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Sheldall. We also welcome our new board members and officers. We'd like to take a moment to recognize some organizations and key people for their efforts in making tonight a reality. Without their hard work and dedication, this event would not be possible. I'd like to thank Mr. Sheldall and the board members of the Education Foundation of Yuma County. Jamie and the board have provided outstanding leadership this year and have worked very hard to organize this evening's event. I would like to also recognize Mr. Sheldall and Ms. Lori Doring, Superintendent of the Crane School District, chairpersons for the Selection Committee for Teacher of the Year, representing the Rotary Clubs of Yuma. Ms. Doring and Mr. Sheldall coordinated the application process for our candidates for the Teacher of the Year and organized all the interview committees which conducted the interviews. Finally, I'd like to recognize Arizona Western College for being such a great partner with the Education Foundations of Yuma County for hosting tonight's event. First of all, we'd like to thank Dr. Joanne Chang for her coordination with college support staff and the facilities that the college has made available to us. We also want to recognize Travis Mitchell, Sherry Needham, Troy Botten, Richard Hernandez Jr., and Craig Fry for their assistance in making the technology available that has allowed us to present our Teacher of the Year event virtually during these stressful COVID times. Of course, that doesn't happen without great leadership at the top. So we extend our gratitude to Dr. Daniel Core, President of Arizona Western College, for his gracious support and for offering the use of this Schoening Center tonight to broadcast our 2021 live virtual Teacher of the Year program. Now it's time to begin the formal process. Now it's time to begin the formal awards recognition part of our banquet as we begin by presenting our Hall of Fame winners for induction. All the awards presented this evening are made possible by the following corporate sponsors: AEA Federal Credit Union, Pilkington Construction, McCarthy Builders, Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management, Helios Foundation, Arizona Public Service, R.L. Jones Insurance, Inc., First Things First, the University of Arizona, Northern Arizona University, and Ann Fisher. We have 6 categories of awards to present tonight for induction into the Hall of Fame. The first award to present this evening is the Special Achievement Award. This award is presented to non-certified employees of Yuma County Schools who stand out among colleagues and have a long-term commitment to education. Ms. Belinda Boblet will introduce the award recipient in this category.
Good evening. I am Belinda Boblet, the School Improvement Director for Gadsden School District, and I'm honored to present the Special Achievement Award to Rosie Figueroa from Gadsden Elementary School District. The award celebrates a support staff employee of Yuma County Schools who stands out among colleagues and has a long-term commitment to education. The recipient demonstrates a strong work ethic, making a positive difference in a school system. Rosie started in 1975 as a school nurse and is currently the Director of Health Services for Gadsden School District. She has demonstrated her commitment to the students and families and cares for their healthcare needs and as well as their social emotional health. Rosie said, "The School Bell program," I quote, "is a favorite part of my job and has volunteered for the past 40 years. The program provides new school uniforms and clothing to children. She's proud of the positive relationships she's fostered with both students and their parents." In closing, Rosie exemplifies the highest in leadership professionalism and expertise for her practices, reflects caring competency, collaboration, communication, and high ethical standards. On behalf of the Education Foundation of Yuma County, thank you for your exemplary service to our children in our school community, and congratulations on receiving this well-deserved Special Achievement Award, Rosie Figueroa.
Good afternoon. My name is Rosie Figueroa. I am the district health coordinator for Gadsden Elementary, and I am honored of being this year's recipient for this award. I would like to thank the Education Foundation of the Yuma County for making this possible. First and foremost, I would also like to thank Dr. Raymond Aguilera, our superintendent, Mrs. Belinda Boblet, all the board members of GES, and the staff who awarded me to receive this award. I am also grateful, and I want to thank the Migrant Opportunity Program that still exists, and it's been there for years and years. Because of this program, I was able to get my education. Back in 1973, I qualified for a school scholarship for nursing, which they provided, and because of them, it helped me fulfill my goals and my career as a nurse, a licensed practical nurse. Back in those days, it was 1973 when I entered the program, and it was the old licensed practical school at the Yuma High School. Maybe some of you remember that. After a few years, it was moved to AWC, which is still present here, the nursing program. And then I graduated in 1974. I was hired right away in the intensive care unit at Yuma Regional Medical Center. I worked there for a year, and then I had the opportunity of being offered a position by Mr. Robert Frazier, the principal then at Gadsden Elementary, in 1975. I worked there for 8 years. At that time, I had my 3 children, and after the 8th year, I resigned from the school since I was expecting my 4th child and decided to stay home and be a mom for at least a year and a half. After that, I was hired by the health department, which I worked there until 1986. And in 1996, I was hired at Yuma Union High School in the nursing department. So I worked there until 1995. And then I was told there was a position open again at Gadsden Elementary for a director of health services. So I was encouraged to apply, and I did. I was hired again. And by this time, there was a big change from when I worked in 1975. From 350 students, it was now about 3,500 to 4,000 students, and more schools added on. So I already knew most of the people there since I had worked there before, and now instead of taking care of their children, I was and I still am taking care of their grandchildren. And they welcome me back with open arms, staff and the parents. And it has been a wonderful experience that the Yuma community, along with Gadsden, has given me the opportunity and the confidence to take care of their children and look out for their well-being. We went through a lot of experiences. I've dealt a lot with some of the programs. School Bell is one of the organizations, and they're still there helping the needy children. I got to meet a lot of the optometrists. We had Lions clubs that we used to take for vision problems. We handle emergencies. And the parents there at Gadsden are very trusting. And I'm glad that they gave me the confidence and trust to take care of their children. At this moment now, I have, there's more schools, so I have 10 health aides that help me assess and take care of children. But as we've gone along, the same parents and the new parents, it has been they gave me the opportunity to learn, because being a school nurse is a different role than just a regular nurse at the hospital or any other place. It's a wonderful experience, even at the high school, a different age group, but you learn a lot. And so I want to thank the community of Yuma and Gadsden for giving me the opportunity to grow with them together, learn the experiences we have as the years have gone by, and coming along with all the new changes that have come along, especially in the 21st century. And I think as parents, teachers, staff, and as nurses, we have just, they have given me the opportunity to grow together for the best interest of the students and ourselves. So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that I really appreciate the Gadsden Elementary, since I've been there for 33 years, and I just feel it's part of my family. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Mrs. Figueroa. The second award for induction into the Hall of Fame is called the Founders Award. This award honors a non-educator who was not educated in Yuma County, but has made a significant impact on education in Yuma County. Ms. Helen Coffeen will introduce the award recipient in this category.
Over the past 3 decades, Mary Garcia has been a volunteer and advocate for the education of Yuma County. Mary grew up in Tucson and moved to Yuma with her husband, Frank, who signed a teaching contract for the high school district. Here they raised their 3 children. Mary was involved in the PTSO throughout her children's education years and later joined the Crane Governing Board. Mary was a Crane Governing Board member for 18 years, often serving as clerk and president of the board. She always came to meetings prepared and devoted to the students and staff she served. She was professional and a positive leader on the board. During her years on the board, they received an ASAB Golden Bell State Board of the Year honor twice. She was passionate in her strong belief in the education system of Yuma County and fought for equal funding and a strong advocate for teachers, including the funding for teacher professional development. She took her responsibility as a board member very seriously and always believed in an equal and free education for all students. For the past 4 years, she has been a member of the Aztec School Board. Additionally, Mary has volunteered countless hours assisting the registrars at both Centennial and Crane Middle School, with an average of 30 hours a week for approximately 2 decades. She even came to work or volunteered on her birthday, stating that she would not want to spend her birthday any other way. She is meticulous in her record keeping, positive when interacting with staff, students, and parents, and a great resource in guiding our new registrar. Even though through health issues, she returned to her volunteer work with unwavering dedication. During COVID, Mary continues to volunteer from home and communicate over the phone. Mary volunteers in her workout clothes and always has a fun story to tell about her twin grandsons. She is a great addition to our office and a delight to have as a volunteer. The Education Foundation of Yuma County is greatly honored to award Mary Garcia the Founders Award and to induct her into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, everyone. This is quite an honor. I love what I do. I have met some amazing teachers and staff over the years, and I've seen firsthand how hard they work to make sure all of our students succeed. I want to thank Helen Coffeen, and I want to thank the Education Foundation of Yuma County for this honor. I want to thank my husband, Frank. He's been so wonderful. He has supported our family over the years, and at the same time, he's been very supportive of my volunteer work, so I'm so grateful for that. I want to thank my 3 children, Matthew, Mary Kay, and Brittany. When I was a volunteer during their time in elementary school, they really loved having Mom there. When they hit middle school, not so much. I love each of you very much, and I thank everyone again for this honor.
Congratulations to you, Mary, also, and it is a great honor, but one very well deserved. Our next award for induction into the Hall of Fame is the Outstanding Organization Contributing to Yuma County Award. This award is presented to an organization that has improved or enhanced education in Yuma County over a period of time. I will introduce the recipient for this award. It's my honor to introduce this year's recipient for Outstanding Organization Award, which goes to Pilkington Construction and its owner, Mr. Clint Harrington. Clint is a Yuma native and an outstanding product of our local schools. Clint graduated from Cibola High School and then attended the University of Arizona, where he earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering. Clint, then, as he would tell you, sort of did things backward by pursuing an apprenticeship in electrical construction before beginning his own electrical contractor's business, and then subsequently purchasing along with his sister the Pilkington Construction Company. The reason we're honoring Clint today is because he has demonstrated at a relatively young age a deep commitment to giving back through both his personal involvement and financial contributions to support economic development and in particular education in Yuma County. Clint gives countless hours to serve on boards and committees in Yuma. Although I would never minimize our community's benefactors who write us checks, Clint gives generously of both his time and his treasure to make our community and education stronger. Because of his vision and passion, Clint serves as a champion for education, frequently being asked to participate as a presenter or a panelist at local or statewide events. The list of groups and activities he has supported include the Arizona Community Foundation of Yuma, Yes for Crane Kids, Expect More for Arizona, the Yuma Education Advocacy Council, the Arizona Business Education Coalition, Achieve 60 AZ, and the Yuma ABEC Middle School's Careers Exploration Program, to name a few. One might ask, where does he find time to be a successful business owner and a father of 3 children? It is truly rare to come across someone of Clint's age who has already learned the importance of giving back as he does. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Yuma County Educational Foundation Hall of Fame recipient for Outstanding Organization Award, Pilkington Construction, and its owner, Mr. Clint Harrington.
Good evening. I'm Clint Harrington, President of Pilkington Construction.
And I'm Chris Pilkington, Vice President of Pilkington Construction.
We are honored to be the recipient of the Education Foundation of Yuma County's Outstanding organization contributing to Yuma County Award. I would like to congratulate all the other Hall of Fame inductees, and I would like to thank all of the teachers, superintendents, aides that have allowed us to work in tandem with your efforts in junior high, high school, grade school. You know, being a construction person, I never really understood all of the hard work and dedication by our wonderful teachers, superintendents of Yuma County. Everybody watching this, you should be proud of our people. They have so much passion, and they do so much for our kids. It makes Pilkington Construction want to do more.
We're just very pleased to be a part of this. You know, I've been here in Yuma for 35 years and have been helping to build Yuma's education for the past 35 years. And it's been quite a joy to be able to do that and to see our systems grow and become better and stronger each and every year. I'm very proud to be a part of helping to build the Yuma education system. Thank you very much.
My friend Dr. Sabbath reminded me the other day that the Yuma Education Foundation of Yuma County does a lot more than the Teacher of the Year banquet. Did you know that? Thank you.
Okay. Clint, congratulations to you and to Pilkington Construction. Our next award for induction into the Hall of Fame is our fourth award this evening for induction for the Professional Educator Award. To be eligible for nomination, a person must have a lasting impact on education in Yuma County, on education, and in particular skills related to teaching, coaching, administration, along with providing leadership in the community and education. Mr. Jamie Sheldall will introduce the award recipient in this category.
Thank you, Mr. Tyree. Rusty Tyndall served the education community as a teacher and administrator in Yuma County for 38 years. He spent 14 years in the classroom as a social studies, civics, and PE teacher at Woodard Junior High School. He then served for 5 years as the assistant principal at Woodard Junior High School before becoming principal at Gila Vista Junior High School for 19 years. I can safely say that anyone who's had the opportunity to work with Rusty during those 38 years became a better educator as a result of that experience. After retiring, Mr. Tyndall has continued to serve District 1 as a discipline hearing officer. He also serves on the board of directors of the Arizona Housing Development Corporation and as a mentor and court-appointed special advocate for children in the foster care system. He also came back, will proudly tell you that he pinch hit and did a long-term sub for a junior high math position for a semester. And we'll tell you that that was one of his more challenging undertakings. In an excerpt from his nomination letter, Dr. Thad Dugan said, "Mr. Tyndall exemplifies a professional educator, one who has not stopped even after retirement. Instead of picking up his golf clubs 5 days a week, Rusty continues to strive to better outcomes for students and families of the Yuma community." My understanding is he still manages to pick his golf clubs up a couple days a week. It is my honor to introduce my friend Rusty Tyndall as this year's recipient of the Education Foundation of Yuma County's Professional Education Award.
Wow, this is very humbling. Thank you, Ed Foundation, Rotary Clubs, for this honor, the Professional Educator Award. You know, when I started in this business a few decades ago, certainly didn't expect to be standing here. Just thank you again for your continuing efforts to honor education in Yuma County. It is truly humbling to be included among the many individuals who have served the students of our community. I'd have to give credit to my mother and grandmother for instilling a love of learning and my sisters and me at a very early age. Although I had so many teachers, it's hard to mention them all, but a few who really found a way to connect with me, I'd like to honor here. I had Mrs. Ritter at O.C. Johnson, Mrs. Morgan, Mrs. Dennis, Mrs. Moody, Mr. Moon, Mr. Monk, and Mr. Love at 4th Avenue Junior High School. Thank you to Mr. Tuggle, Mrs. Cabrera, Mrs. Mangrum, Mr. Wood, Mr. Holland, Mr. Traxler, and Mr. Cheatham, who helped pave my path at Yuma High. It was the influence of history and government teachers, Mr. Ray Drysdale and Mr. Bob McClendon, that built upon the foundation started by Mr. Love at 4th Avenue. Their passion for teaching and their concerted efforts to make history relevant to us students gave me a glimpse of the career that I wanted to pursue. Mr. Bill Amabisca gave me my first job at Woodard Junior High. I was teaching social studies and civics, and later part-time PE. While there, I was blessed to work with some amazing teachers who helped me become a more complete educator. A few of these special folks were Marilyn Norman, Lucy Shipp, Sharon Hale, Linda Opp, and Dale Duncan. I made the transition to administration under the tutelage of Wes Vandenberg and Chris Rico. In 1996, I was privileged to be selected as principal at Gila Vista Junior High. The committed teachers, dedicated support staff, and thousands of energetic and impressionable young people made the years just fly by. We could not have been successful at Gila Vista without the support and leadership of teachers like Mary Lackey, Monica Huff, Dale Harvick, Bruce Mahan, Paula Paternos, Carrie Morse, Steve Robinson, Barbara Major, Lisa Slogic, Walt Johnson, and Robert Ortega. 3 of our counselors, Colleen Johnson, Anna Lopez, and Elaine Gossman, were critical in helping us create an atmosphere that championed learning. I was very fortunate to have Susie Alka, Mark Cunningham, Rindy Ward, and Chris Howard as assistant principals during my tenure. The mentorship of Tom Tyree, Tom Russian, and Darwin Stifler, as well as collegial interchanges with many other administrators and teachers, were invaluable. The last group that I would like to thank is the group of teachers, support staff, and administrators who've been working tirelessly and creatively over the last year under extremely challenging circumstances. Your passion for learning, your commitment to the youth of our community, and your dedication to this noble profession continues to inspire. God blessed me with a great wife, Susie, who not only supported me in my career, but also joined me in the field of education by teaching 4th and 5th grade students at Pecan Grove and O.C. Johnson. Together, we were able to raise 2 children, Joshua and Corey, who also appreciated the education that they received from amazing teachers at Gwyneth Ham, Gila Vista, and Kofa High School. Working with young adolescents for 38 years gave me the opportunity to not only laugh every day, but to also smile every day. It gives me great pride as I read about, hear about, or run into a former student that I get to say, that was one of my kids. Being a teacher, assistant principal, and principal was a lot like being part of a softball game. You get to witness some long home runs, plenty of stand-up triples, hundreds of doubles in the gap, and a multitude of line drive and bloop singles. Thank you to all my students for letting me be part of the game. Thank you.
And Rusty, congratulations to you. I have to say, of all my many years of being in education, Rusty Tyndall is absolutely one of the finest people that I've ever had the pleasure and honor to be around. So he's well deserving of this award. The 5th award for induction into the Hall of Fame is the Francis Woodard Award. This award is presented to someone who has been educated in Yuma County, who has had a significant impact within and upon our community. Tom Rush will introduce the award recipient in this category.
Hello, my name is Tom Rush, and I'm a member of the Ed Foundation of Yuma, and I have the proud honor tonight to announce our Francis Woodard Award, which goes to Annette Lagunas. I want to say a couple words about her so people get a better understanding of what kind of quality person she is. She was born and raised in Yuma, Arizona, attended many elementary schools, Rancho Viejo, Pueblo Elementary, H.L. Silver Club, and Yuma High School. She's still a diehard criminal to this day. She was born to the daughter of Charlie and Sandy Durham, and she spent a lot of time in a hardworking, blue-collared family. Spent a lot of time in 4-H and FFA. Out of high school, she had ambitions to basically become a veterinarian, and she moved on to Phoenix and got some education on that side, and she became a certified veterinarian technician. And then moved back to Yuma, wanted to come back to the community, and started working as a veterinarian technician, but she ended up at the Humane Society of Yuma. She was a kennel technician and then a kennel manager, and she had ambitions to basically run the place. So 16, 17 years later, she's now the executive director of the Humane Society of Yuma. And her big goal was to do the campaign on No Kill Yuma. So she wants to have every animal saved in Yuma County from being killed. Annette believes educating our local children to become loving and compassionate pet owners, and at a very young age. Annette has partnered with many schools: Alice Byrne, Valley Horizon, Gowan Science Academy, Pueblo Elementary, and Centennial Middle School. The list goes on and on. She brings the pets into schools and teaches the kids how to take care of them, how to identify if there's any animal abuse, and what to do if they see animal abuse. Annette began a summer program for children of all ages. These programs' objectives span from caring for the animals, but also veterinarian science for older kids. Annette knows what local students in Yuma are capable of, and she wants them to become veterinarians. But that's not it. Annette is an active member of the Fort Yuma Rotary. She is the present president of the Fort Yuma Rotary Club. Through Rotary, she has assisted building numerous playgrounds for the different schools in Yuma County. Annette has also sat in the committee chair for the Mardi Gras Block Party and helped with numerous other events to help give back to the community. In her spare time, Annette is an active member of the local 4-H and FFA community. Annette and her husband, Ray, has organized numerous benefit barbecues for local FFA chapters, different events, PTOs. And as you can tell, the list goes on and on. She is a shining star in Yuma County. She is a proud Yuma gal, and clearly she wants to continue to make an impact on Yuma County, especially the students. So I gladly announce Annette Lagunas for the Francis Woodard Award. Congratulations.
I just want to thank the Yuma community for this awesome award. I was born and raised in Yuma County. I definitely was raised here with Crane School District, along with Yuma Union High School, Yuma High School, yay criminals. So I just really want to thank you for this really, really cool award. I think this is one of the greatest things that I've ever received. My family was born and raised here. My kids both go to school in this amazing community. I love what I do, and I'm super excited to have been able to give back to our community, in addition to the work that I do every single day. Just makes me so proud to be a part of it. So I just really want to thank everybody for this award. Thanks to those of you out there who nominated me and who voted for me to get this award. It truly is an honor. And Yuma County will always be my home. It will always be my kids' home. We love it here. Both my parents and my husband's parents were both born and raised here in Yuma County as well. And so it's really been an honor to give back. And I just think the world of all of you educators out there that work every single day with our children. And someday they're going to be great leaders, and they're going to be giving back to our community. And you truly are the ones that deserve to be honored. And thank you for all you've done for me to help me get where I am today. There's so many of you out there. But in addition to that, I really, really thank you for all that you do for today's children. If it wasn't for you out there every single day, and I know this year's been one heck of a ride for you, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the award. Thank you for all you do. Keep up the great work, because you're all doing amazing, and you're amazing people. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I truly appreciate this.
Annette, congratulations to you, and thank you for the the positive impact you've had on our community. Our sixth and final award for induction to Hall of Fame this evening is the Estelle Dingus Award. This award is presented to someone who was educated in Yuma County who has made a significant impact outside of Yuma County. I will introduce the award recipient in this category. It's a real pleasure for me to introduce our next inductee into the Yuma County Education Hall of Fame. The recipient of this year's Estelle Dingus Award is being presented to someone I've known since my high school days. Robert E. Schmidt is a Yuma native, having attended elementary school in Somerton, Kofa High School, and Arizona Western College. He then moved on to Arizona State University, where he received an undergraduate degree in advertising and marketing, followed by his Juris Doctorate degree, which he earned from the ASU Law School in 1973. Although an outstanding student academically, with Bob it wasn't just about the books. At Kofa, Bob was an outstanding high school athlete, lettering in 3 sports, and he then played on the first 2 teams in the newly developed baseball program at Arizona Western College, where he starred as a first-team all-conference baseball player both years. While at ASU, Bob was the recipient of the James V. Christie Memorial Award, which goes to the outstanding senior graduating in advertising. He was also a member of the Mu Kapata Collegiate Marketing Honorary. While in law school, he received the honor of being named to the Phi Delta Phi legal fraternity, serving as its magister president. Following his graduation from law school, Bob started his distinguished legal career in Yuma, joining the firm of Westover, Choles, Shadle, and Bowen, first as an associate and then as a shareholder. He then left to start his own law firm before moving to Prescott in 1993. Although his primary office continues to be in Prescott, he has always had an office in Yuma and continues to do so today. Bob's record of his professional activities, affiliations, and honors are far too numerous to list in this introduction. Suffice it to say, he has served in multiple capacities in the legal profession in the state of Arizona for many years, including service as president of the Arizona State Bar in 1992 and 93. Bob has received multiple awards for his service to the legal profession, including being the Alumni of the Year by the ASU Law School, honored as Member of the Year by the Arizona State Bar, and being awarded the Walter E. Craig Distinguished Service Award by the Arizona Bar Foundation, which is the highest award presented by the foundation. In addition, as one of the best and most respected trial attorneys in Arizona, Bob has been named to the best lawyers in America, the Southwest Super Lawyers, and the American College of Trial Lawyers, where admission is limited to the top 1% of trial attorneys in a given state. In addition to serving his profession, Bob always has been very civic and community-minded. His activities, while many, have always focused upon our youth, especially in the area of athletics. Personally, I cannot think of a better role model, having had the opportunity to coach with Bob in our earlier years. We've had a lot of fun together, and if you don't mind me saying, excelling in basketball leagues, over-the-line tournaments, and running half marathons. For all of his professional and civic accomplishments, I fully expect that he will tell you that his most notable accomplishments include being married to the same wonderful woman, his wife Diane, for over 50 years, and being the father of 5 exceptional children, as well as the grandfather of 16 incredible grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce and present to you Bob Schmidt as this year's Yuma County Hall of Fame inductee receiving the Estelle Dingus Award. Mr. Bob Schmidt.
Well, first of all, Tom, thanks for the kind words. I much appreciate that. And thanks to the board for even considering me for what I consider to be just an amazing award. I certainly never expected to even be considered for something like this. Initially, I have to tell you all that I was a little suspicious because the thought of Bob Schmidt being lined up with Education Hall of Fame, that brought nothing but a lot of chuckles. But I got real comfortable when I talked to some people, and it sounded like it was the real deal. But I have to tell you, I'm suspicious again, and I'll tell you why. You folks are watching this on April 20th, 2021. I was called in here today to make some remarks about this award. Today, my friends, is April 1st, April Fool's Day. So if I get this award today, I'm running and getting it and put it in my safe, okay? So we need to understand that. On a more serious note, I've been incredibly blessed in my life, and one of the things I've been truly blessed with was to have grown up in Yuma County. The other thing that, and Tom mentioned it to you in his initial remarks, that he thought I would probably mention this, and I am, because the other thing that is incredible for me is my first wife, Diane Farley Schmidt. The great news is, after 50 years, she is still my first wife. Some of you may remember her parents, Grant and Berdine Farley. They had Farley's Hardware, one of the very first stores in the Yuma Macy Shopping Center way back in the day when that place was built, 16th Street and 4th Avenue. Diane has blessed me with 5 incredible children, 4 of our own, a 5th, an amazing young lady that we adopted after she had been a foster child in our house for a number of years. We are incredibly proud of them all. And we also now have 16 grandkids, aged 21 down to 5. One thing I just want to mention right up front, I'm not real excited about having to talk about myself, but I think that one of the things I have to do here today is kind of explain to you kind of my background, and I'll do that. I'm not going to like doing that, but I will. The other reason why that I am willing to do this is I am very hopeful that I will motivate some of you folks out there watching my remarks today, motivate you to get out and get involved in things, to help the county, help the state, because we need out-county, rural county people involved, and we'll talk about that particularly in regards to my work that I did with the Arizona State Bar Association. With the Estelle Dingus Award, there are 2 factors. The first one is that a person has to have been educated in Yuma County. That's an easy one, and I'm going to walk you kind of through quickly what my educational background is, and you'll find heavily leans toward Yuma County. The second one is that the person at least should have caused significant impact outside of Yuma County. So if there's a problem, that's where the problem would be, but I will, again, I'll talk to you about some things, again, trying to motivate people to get involved. I was born in Yuma County. I was born at the old Yuma County Hospital, which only you really old folks out there remember. It was down on 4th Avenue between 24th Street and 32nd Street. It's down where the juvenile facility has been for any number of years now. I was born to 2 wonderful parents, John Robert Schmidt, as in Bob, Glennis Thompson Schmidt, wonderful lady. We initially were living in Somerton, and I'll talk about that. One thing I have to mention, and I hate to get too personal, but it kind of tells you a little bit about who I am, and it'll help, I think, people to understand that you can do things. You can do things maybe that you don't think you can. My dad was an incredibly bright guy. He worked at McDaniel & Sons Produce in Somerton after he came back from World War II. And then at the time, later on, when I was a senior in high school, well, actually, we moved in 1960 up to Yuma, and he was working for Curtis Woodman and Roach. And I don't think there's many of you out there that when I say Glenn Curtis, you know, you put your hand over your heart. Wonderful man. He was incredibly good to the Schmidt family. And one of the reasons why he did that is when I was a senior at COFA, September, my dad was diagnosed with viral encephalitis, a terrible disease. They thought that he may have gotten that as a result of being bitten by a mosquito down by the river because he was an avid dove hunter. Anyway, he goes 2 months, he's hospitalized in Phoenix. One night, he has a fever of 107 degrees, if you can believe that. And more amazing, lives to tell about it. But as a result of that, it wiped out that portion of his brain dealing with short-term memory. And from that point forward, the Schmidt family was never the same again. We had 4 kids when this happened. my mother was pregnant with what they called a very big surprise to have another child in November, which she did after my dad finally got home from the hospital there. My mother had to go back to work, and she was a pillar to me, and that's why I mentioned this. She had to go back to work. She went to work for the Yuma County Recorder's Office, and she ended up becoming the Yuma County Recorder, as many of you will remember, for 20 years. Amazing lady. As I mentioned, we initially, when I was born, we lived down in Somerton. And to say that I was blessed to be able to have gone to Somerton Grammar School, I can't tell you. That's simply, that doesn't give enough importance to it. I went through the 1st through 8th grade. And if you can believe this, out of my teachers in those 8 years, 3 of them were honored as Arizona Teachers of the Year. Ida Bell Baker, my 2nd grade teacher. Ethel Lee, my 4th grade teacher. And John Dalton, my 8th grade teacher. And it was like that just all the way through. There was a lady down there by the name of Mrs. Leonard. There was our English teacher, 7th and 8th. And I think one of the reasons that so many of us in our class, and we only had 60 graduate in 1960. So many of us have done so well, I think, is because of her and the way she taught us English. I mean, we knew it. We knew how to write, still do today. I mean, we were amazing. As I mentioned, in 1960, we moved to Yuma, the big city, 16,500 people at the time, up on Avenue A, right across from what you folks now know as Smucker Park. When we moved there, that was a sand dune across the street, and every time the big winds came through, my brothers and I, we had 2 other brothers, we got to go out there and put that sand dune back on the other side of Avenue A. As I mentioned, probably the biggest thing that happened to me at Kofa High School was when I was a junior. I met Diane, my first wife. But we had a great time at Kofa. The consistency there among the teachers was likewise very, very good. There's a few names that stand out. I went back through the annuals. This has been kind of a neat experience. And you're going to recognize, I think, most of you, some of these names. Harold Elliott, Lou Shoup, Carl Winters, and I'm just touching the surface on that. Also, I'm going to kind of change things. I'm going to mention 2 people that I don't think you'll ever hear have somebody hold them up in the spotlight. I was a 3-sport letterman at Kofa, as Coach Tyree told you. As a result, I spent hours and hours and hours traveling hundreds, if not thousands of miles primarily between Yuma and Phoenix, because the only other team in our conference that was anywhere close was Yuma High. Everything else was either in the Phoenix area or it was in Casa Grande. And we did that in complete safety because of 2 guys that I revere, Chester Phillips and Vito Montagna. Wonderful people, and I thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. After I got out of high school, we graduated in 1964. We were the 3rd class to graduate from Kofa. Only the 2nd class to have gone all 4 years to the new Kofa High School. Because of all these hours in the bus, I had no desire whatsoever to get back on the road to Phoenix. So I went down to U of A. My time there, it's not going to take very long to talk to you about, because the bottom line is the baseball coach and I didn't get along, and I said, the heck with this, with what was going on with my dad at home, and the baseball coach that's enough right there. I decided I wanted to go back to Yuma. In the meantime, ironically, AWC was putting together its very first baseball program. They hired Jack Watson, a name that I think many of you will recognize, to be the first coach. And he heard about me. And somebody, I'm not sure they told him the truth or not, he said, Schmidt's a pretty doggone good player. Why don't you try to get him? So he offers me a scholarship. I come back, play 2 years. Our first year out of the box, we're 25-5, and 3 of those losses are to Phoenix College, who wins the National Junior College Championship that year. I will tell you, and I'm absolutely mean this, the education that I got here, those 3 semesters at Arizona Western, was the best undergraduate education that I received. I've told hundreds of kids over the years, take a look at your junior colleges, because you get real teachers there. You don't get part-time grad students that are teaching your classes. One particular teacher out here I do have to mention. I remember him vividly. His name was David Gershaw, and David taught psychology, and he was amazing. He's one of the best teachers that I ever had anywhere. ASU, I did the undergraduate there, and it was okay, and not as good as what I got here at Arizona Western. I graduated with a degree in advertising and marketing in 1968. And as just an aside, I will tell you that I am, and you'll hear that I spent several years on the Arizona Board of Governors. I am the only advertising major that has an actual degree in advertising that's ever served on the Board of Governors. And I can't tell you what I think of every morning when I have to watch those ads on TV. Most of those guys couldn't find the courthouse without a CNI dog, I will tell you. It really bothers me. Anyway, I spent a year in the MBA program, Master's of Business Administration, and actually I got together with a guy who was in my National Guard unit, a guy named Jay Irwin. And I'm sure that name means a lot to many of you. He was the federal magistrate for the past few years here before he retired. He said, hey, let's go to law school. I said, oh, hey, sounds good. We ended up with a whole contingent of people from Yuma County. Jay Irwin, his brother Mike Irwin, who was the county attorney here in Yuma. Then he moved up to the new La Paz County and was the first judge up there for about 20 years that they had in La Paz County. Bruce Yancey, I'm sure you remember the name, his dad was sheriff for a long time here. And Billy Butler, who's still around town. He is quite the photographer in Yuma. We all graduated in 1973 with our Juris Doctorate. We were either the third or fourth class, I can't remember. And amazingly enough, all of us came back to Yuma County. My coming was a little different than the other boys. My wife did not want to come down here. We had my folks here, her folks here. She thought it was just going to be too much family. So I bribed her. What I told her is, Diane, if you're willing to go to Yuma for 2 years, I'll take the California bar exam. And at the end of 2 years, if we're not liking it, then we can go. Well, and I did. I became a member of the California bar in 1974, Arizona 1973. But at the end of the 2 years, the best thing ever happened to us was coming back to Yuma. The kids got quality time with their grandparents. I mean, it was incredible. I went with when I came down, I went in with one of the two firms that were of stature at the time. The name of the firm was Westover, Ketty, Scholes, Shadle, and Bowen. I'm sure many of you knew of Steve Shadle. Unfortunately, we lost him this last year. It was a great firm. Like a lot of young people, I decided I wanted to see my name on the door, so I went out and helped open another firm, first with Larry Deason, and then with Larry Suchu and Mike Donovan. Larry Suchu, since I've been in Prescott, has been my landlord this entire time. In 1993, 20 years after we came to Yuma, because of some family health problems, it was determined that we really needed to get out of Yuma because the doctors were saying they thought it was the agricultural chemicals that was causing the problems. So I had a good friend of mine from law school, a guy named Mike Murphy, who'd been on me to try to get me to come to Prescott anyway. So we went to Prescott. That was 1993. Assuming that I can make it to July, I will have been part of this law firm for 28 years, which I still have a very hard time to in believing that. So as far as being educated in Yuma, yeah, I mean, I no problem. The second one, as I mentioned, is that the person has caused significant impact outside of Yuma County. Well, in Prescott, I tried to be a good citizen. Like I think I was a good citizen here in Yuma. I've been a member of the Kiwanis Club now for years. Served on the board of governors or directors rather. Our little Kiwanis Club, 75 people strong, raises more money than any Kiwanis Club in the state of Arizona that goes to the kids. Pretty impressive. I also, for the last 9 years, I've served on the Yavapai County Foundation Board up there. I'm sure you're familiar with Yavapai County. It came in after Arizona Western was a board. But if I really have done anything that's provided any significant impact, I don't think there's any question it's because of the things that I've done in regards to my profession. as you obviously know from what I've told you already, I'm a lawyer. Have been for a long time. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried over 100 jury trials, including many here in Yuma. The service to the profession, I'm going to talk to you just a little bit. Tom mentioned a few things there that I don't want to run over the same stuff again, but the things that I can just tell you that kind of show what I've done. I was president of the Yuma County Bar when I was still down in Yuma here. The first thing that I did on a statewide basis is I was appointed to the Arizona Supreme Court Committee on Character and Fitness. That is the group that looks at every application of anybody who applies for entry into the bar in the state of Arizona, and then holds hearings if necessary to determine if there's some problem, some reason why this person should or should not become a member of our bar. I did that for 4 years. I then went on the Board of Governors. I was there for 8 years. And I was absolutely honored to serve as president in 1992-93. During my year, I went all around the state. I went to every county in the state of Arizona preaching what I referred to as the 3 Ps. The first P, pride in the profession. Number 2, professionalism, being professional in our profession. And 3, participation in the bar and community activities and those kinds of things. And I still deliver that message today when I get the chance. A couple of years after that, and I pretty well thought I was through, an opening came open on the Commission on Appellate Court Appointments. And what that commission does is when there's an opening on the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court, that's the group that reviews the applications that come in and make a decision as to who gets interviewed and what names will go to the governor. And the governor must choose from those names that group sends up. I mean, it's a big time deal. I had a couple people call. They asked, would I be willing to do it? I said no, and actually I'd written a letter on behalf of another lawyer friend of mine. But then something happened that I will never forget. At that point in time, we had 5 members of the Arizona Supreme Court. I had personal phone calls from 4 of those people asking me, Bob, would you please come back in and go on the commission? So I kind of reconsidered. And not only did I go on the commission, I was on it for 10.5 years, which was at the time the longest anybody had ever served. And the amazing thing about it, I did some calculations when I finally got off 10.5 years later. Over 75% of the judges then serving on the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court had come through on my watch. That's something that I'm still very proud of today. For the last 9 years, I've been on the board of the Client Protection Fund. What that is a bar-sponsored program, it's backed by dues money that lawyers pay. If you have a lawyer that steals from you, essentially, is the bottom line, you can make a claim against it, like an insurance policy. And if you meet the criteria, then you can get up to a set amount of money in return. The only other thing that I really want to mention, because I still do this, since 1987, I have been a member of the faculty of the Arizona College of Trial Advocacy. And what that is a multi-day program trying to teach primarily young lawyers how to try cases. Although we get a fair amount of older lawyers too that simply want to refine their skills. I think I've helped them. Hundreds, if not thousands by this point in time for the time I've been there, and I still go out and help put on seminars and that kind of thing. So that's what I've done. Apparently the board thought that was sufficient to maybe show some significant impact. Again, I don't know since it's April 1st, but I hope so. And again, hopefully I've motivated some of you out there. If little Bobby Schmidt from Somerton, Arizona, who has never lived in anything other than a rural county except for the time that I was in Phoenix and Tucson to go to college, if I can do these things, you can do it. And I really beseech you to look for things that, and the 3 Ps, those don't go just to the legal profession. That goes to any profession that you have out there, any job you have, whatever you do. So again, I thank the board so much. I am incredibly honored with this what I'm perceiving here, and again, thank you so much.
And Bob, congratulations to you. You know, as Bob and I came out to the college together to video his speech he just gave, one of the things that we were talking about as we left is he mentioned both Vito and Chester Phillips, who had been bus drivers, not only for him, but also for me during that time as an athlete in Yuma High School as well. And I was really proud to share with him that, in case you don't know this, but if you go into our book and look at the people that we have given awards to or inducted in our Hall of Fame, both Vito and Chester, as bus drivers, have been inducted into the Yuma Hall of Fame, and I think that's pretty significant. And they were really not only just great guys, but really good people. Bob, I know you're watching tonight live in Prescott with a lot of your family and friends, and we're proud of you and very honored to just call you friend. As we begin to transition into the phase of our program where we honor the various categories of Teachers of the Year, I would like to recognize the great work that previous Teachers of the Year have done for our students in Yuma County. Those who have done that, excuse me while I find my notes here. Those who have been selected and those who represent their great profession deserve our appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce the 2020 Yuma County Teacher of the Year. Please join me in welcoming Miss Jennifer Miller from Yuma Catholic High School.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Jennifer Miller, your Yuma County 2020 Teacher of the Year, and I'm so excited to be your Teacher of the Year. I'm so grateful to have been given such a prestigious award. And at this time, I would like to thank the Teacher of the Year Selection Committee for choosing me. I know that it was a very difficult choice due to the fact that you had so much talent to choose from. So in the end, thank you so much for choosing me. This is an honor and a recognition that I will never forget. And I remember shortly after I won, I was reflecting on the fact that I won during a pandemic, no less. And a quote came to my mind that really put things into perspective for me. A quote from Audrey Hepburn that said, "Nothing is impossible." The word itself says, "I'm possible." And I was like, yes, that's exactly my feelings right now. And ladies and gentlemen, that quote is not just for me, but it's for all of you as well. We are doing it. We are making things happen. A year ago, we were in a lockdown. We all did not have our students in class. We were in an online learning environment that none of us had been subjected to before. So here we are, navigating an uncharted territory, and I know that I definitely share your concern. We are worried about our students. Are they okay? Are they doing okay? What do they need? How are they? Because we didn't get to see them. And I know that was devastating to so many of us. And ladies and gentlemen, I remember one particular day, I was so worried because I hadn't seen them. It had been several weeks. And of course, we were all wondering, are we going to come back soon? What's going to happen? And I remember later on that day, a very good friend of mine sent me a text. And I'd like to share that text with you because it really put things into perspective for me. The text said, in case you need to hear it, students are not falling behind. They are surviving a pandemic. Educators, you are not falling behind. You are also surviving a pandemic. And thank you for every ounce that you give. That really seemed to calm the seas for me, to realize that it's going to be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to congratulate all of the Yuma County 2021 nominees for Teacher of the Year. Trust me, I know how exciting it is because I've been there. I know how you feel. And remember, we're all in this together. Things will get better. So stay strong, stay positive, and never give up. You got this. We got this, Yuma County teachers. Have a great night. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. Take care.
Jennifer, thank you for your comments. You will be an outstanding representative of the teachers in Yuma County, just like those who have come before you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the time in the program we've all been waiting for. It's time to announce the Teacher of the Year winners in Yuma County. To present the Teacher of the Year awards, we have with us this evening Mr. Bill Reagan-Hart and Mr. Art Morales, representing Rotary Clubs of Yuma. We will ask them to join us following these messages from some of our community partners who are sponsoring tonight's event.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miriam Lamone, and I'm the Senior Director of Marketing with AEA Federal Credit Union and the Vice President of the Education Foundation of Yuma County's Board of Directors. Congratulations to all of the nominees this evening. We're so proud of everything you've done, especially throughout the last year, which has been a little different for all of us. AEA has been a part of the community for over 78 years. We were started in 1942 by a group of local educators. So education is in our DNA. It's a part of who we are every day, and we're so proud to be a part of this event. Thank you, and again, congratulations to all of the nominees. You're all winners in our eyes. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Good evening. Pilkington Construction is a proud sponsor of the Education Foundation of Yuma County Teacher of the Year Award Banquet.
We are very pleased to be members of this award and to help with education in the Yuma County area. We are just very pleased to be a part of helping to build Yuma's education and to further the education of people in the Yuma area.
Thank you, Yuma, for making it a priority to buy, shop, and build local, keeping our dollars here. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. John Kavesdy with McCarthy Building Companies. Excited to be in this room to celebrate the Teacher of the Year. After this incredibly challenging year, I think that the role of the teacher is even more appreciated by the parents and the community. My mom was a teacher, my wife is a teacher, so this is really near and dear to my heart. Everyone in this virtual room deserves a standing ovation, and a special congratulations to those that were nominated and for the winners. Thank you for everything you do for our community. We truly appreciate it. We're here for you, and congratulations to the winners.
On behalf of myself and everyone at APS, we want to say congratulations to all of the nominees and especially the winners of tonight's Teacher of the Year Awards. Thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and your commitment this past year.
The S&P 500 trends up and downwards, and you should have a plan in place to prepare for the next correction. Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management utilizes a company called Riskalyze to provide us with software to translate your risk tolerance into a number we can use to compare your risk tolerance to your investment portfolio. We'd like to offer an assessment on your portfolio to help tailor-make a portfolio designed to fit your financial needs. Call Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management or visit us online to schedule a no-obligation appointment.
On behalf of First Things First and the Yuma Regional Partnership Council, it is our pleasure to partner with the Education Foundation of Yuma County to stand up and congratulate all of our exceptional educators that were recognized tonight. As your early childhood partner, we understand the importance of improving Yuma County one family and one child at a time. Thank you for all of your passionate efforts. We honor you. Thank you.
On behalf of the R.L. Jones team and as a member of the Yuma Education Foundation, I would like to congratulate the Teacher of the Year nominees, winners, and the Distinguished Foundation inductees. Tonight we honor and celebrate you, and we thank you for making all the difference for the generations of the past, present, and future. I hope you enjoy your celebration.
Well, good evening. My name is Bill Reagan-Hart, and I am a proud Rotarian and president of the Yuma Rotary Club. The Yuma Rotary Club has been serving the Yuma community for a lot of years, since 1937. And we are proud to be one of the founding organizations in partnership with the Education Foundation of Yuma County of the Teacher of the Year program, which honors our community's outstanding educators.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Art Morales, and now that I've promoted my employer, I'll take this off. You can bill me for that later. I'm also a proud Rotarian, AWC graduate, and Cibola Raider, and it's an honor to co-MC tonight with my buddy Bill Regenhart.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the Rotary District 5500 District Governor, Diane Ventura Goodyear, our fellow Yuma Rotarians, and the Yuma Education Foundation Board for their support of this event.
Each year, it is an honor and privilege for Rotarians and dedicated community members to serve on the Teacher of the Year Selection Committee. Thank you for your time and commitment. A special thank you to Taryn McNaughton and Susan Jorgensen for organizing the process. The annual Teacher of the Year program is a great opportunity to affirm how fortunate our community is to have so many dedicated and exceptional teachers. Now let me tell you the process of what our teachers had to endure. Before Christmas, schools were invited to nominate deserving teachers for Yuma County Teacher of the Year. So in order to do so, principals submitted a resume form and a letter of support in January. So for this year, please remember, by December, submit your nominations. This year, we had 55 teachers that were nominated in 6 different categories. The categories are first-year teachers, then primary pre-kindergarten through 3rd grade. The third one is intermediate, which includes 4th to 6th grades, and also includes elementary special area. The next one is junior high, middle school, then high school, and last, college and university. We do not interview or narrow the field for outstanding first-year teachers, but instead recognize all who were nominated from their schools. The college university professors will be honored and are not part of the Teacher of the Year process.
Each of the nominees were interviewed virtually by committees of Rotarians and community members in March. The field was narrowed in 3 semifinalists in each of the 4 categories. The semifinalists in each of the categories were then asked to submit an essay and a video. The final round of the interviews were also conducted virtually. We are excited to have the 12 semifinalists with us live in the 4 categories here tonight. So thank you to all who have assisted with this interview process.
So each of the semifinalists for the Yuma County Teacher of the Year received tonight a glass apple to commemorate their achievement. So congratulations to you all. Now, we all know that Yuma is a very generous community, and we provide impressive awards. So each category winner will receive a cool trophy along with 3 voucher credits from NEU Yuma, so you'll also become a lumberjack. Finally, the individual named this evening as a Yuma County Teacher of the Year will receive not only the tremendous honor and a really cool trophy, as I mentioned, and a voucher for 3 credit hours from NEU Yuma, but you will also receive a Paul Harris Fellowship, which signifies a $1,000 donation from the Yuma Rotary Clubs, and those funds are used to eradicate polio internationally. And of course, what everybody's aware, you will win a 7-day trip for 2 to Hawaii from Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management. And I'm sure if you don't have someone to go with, my wife will sign a permission slip and I will join you.
Yeah, the winner also gets treated to an interpretive dance by Clint Harrington, and that will be right after the award ceremony. Teachers were nominated in the category of Outstanding First-Year Teacher, Yuma County Schools. First-year teacher. Yuma County Schools hire hundreds of new teachers every year. Some of these teachers are from Yuma, and some are not. It's exciting and difficult to be a new teacher, but especially during the pandemic. We are grateful to them, and in lieu of selecting an outstanding first-year teacher, we would like to honor all first-year teachers and list their names at the end of the virtual program. And we are thankful that you entered this profession, and we congratulate all of you.
All right, so let's begin. We will recognize virtually all of the nominees in the primary As a reminder, pre-K through third category at the end of the program. The three finalists are here live with us tonight, and the three finalists are...
For pre-K through third grade, from Raleigh Elementary, Christina Bensaida. From Mesquite Elementary, Lizbeth Vasquez. And from Roosevelt Elementary, Alma Solis.
Can we congratulate all these finalists? So this year's winner in the pre-kindergarten third grade category is Christina Ben Saida.
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight. This is definitely a big surprise. So I just want to go ahead and get started with, appreciate it. When I was a little girl, I really struggled in school. And I could not wait until the day that I had graduated, so I could never take a step back in school. Well, as you can see, that definitely did not work out. So as my father always says, he definitely has a 27-year-old second grader yet, and it's just something that I hold near and dear in my heart, to be able to, even though I struggle in school, I'm able to take that knowledge that I had in those experiences and move them forward. I would like to thank my coworkers and of course my principal at Raleigh. They have been outstanding, keeping me in their hearts and welcoming me, and I'd like to thank my 120 kids that I've taught over the years, my friends and my family, of course, and then my grams, for teaching me that education is the one thing that can never be taken away. All right, thank you all for this outstanding thing. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We will recognize virtually all of the nominees in the intermediate grades 4 through 6th grades, elementary special area category. But the three finalists are here with us this evening. And the finalists are:
for 4th through 6th grades and special areas, from Gowan Science Academy, Tamra Van Sickle. From Cesar Chavez Elementary, Rubicel Rodriguez. And from Dorothy Hall Elementary, Laura Danford.
Congratulations to all the finalists. And this year's winner in the intermediate grades 4 through 6 special area category is paper cut. Laura Danford.
right, thank you so much. I was recommended to me to speak from the heart, so that's what I'm going to do. I just want to thank the Education Foundation and Yuma Rotary so much for this this honor. I just know how hard you all work to recognize teachers, and I'm just truly honored to be recognized today. And I have to thank my parents for being here, and my 2 beautiful children at home who I know are watching, and my husband, and all of my friends and family. And I cannot thank enough my outstanding principal, Mrs. Lagunas. She has mentored me. She has helped me grow as an educator. And I have to thank my team of teachers, all of my Dorothy Hall teachers, all the teachers at Raleigh when I worked at Raleigh, and all of the people that have just supported and loved me. And I cannot have done this without Petty Doughton, Laura Giss, Stacy Melton, Melanie Navarro, Carla Brewer, and I can't even think of, I'm sure I'm forgetting so many people, but you have helped make me who I am with your love and support. And of course, my hundreds of children I've taught over the years. If you're watching, I love you. I just hope you're all being successful, and just know that you are in my heart every day for the rest of my life. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
And of course, we will recognize all the nominees in the junior high, middle school category later on. But for right now, the 3 finalists, of course, like everyone else, is here with us tonight. And the 3 finalists are...
For junior high and middle school. From Castle Dome Middle School, Carrie Morse. From Woodard Junior High School, Christopher Franey. And from Crane Middle School, Caitlin McGill.
Can we give them a round of applause? All right, and your junior high, middle school finalist is Carrie Morse.
Wow. I kept saying, I won't win. I didn't expect it. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone that's helped me become a teacher, a better teacher every day. I know I don't have enough time to thank everyone. Thank you to my family for always supporting me, to my coworkers, to my students for being my inspiration. I became a teacher to make a difference in young people's lives, but what I got was an enriching career that made me a better person and lessons that I certainly didn't expect. Leslie Wilson says it best in Lessons of Another Kind. I came to teach, but learned instead that they had just as much to say to me. Their lessons were often raw, sometimes uninformed, and yet complex. I came to give and yet was given, for through their gifts I saw anew. My students and I have shared lessons, laughter, and tears. We have worked through frustrations, overcome obstacles, and shared successes. COVID made me think about my relationships with students and how important those relationships were. Teaching is challenging each and every day, and we must rise to that challenge and continue to learn from our students as much as they learn from us. Thank you.
Congratulations.
We will now recognize virtually, we will recognize virtually all of the nominees in the high school category, but the 3 finalists are here live with us tonight. And the finalists are:
For high school, from Kofa High School, Caleb Ferrier. From San Luis High School, Timothy Rebeck. And from Cibola High School, Itzel Rodriguez.
And this year's winner in the high school category is Timothy Rebeck.
Wow. Thank you very much for this award. Obviously, I want to thank my wife. I think your work ethic is contagious. Thank you for always supporting me. I think at San Luis High School we are truly a family, and that comes a lot from our principal. So I don't have any friends, so I had to invite my principal as my third. It's kind of sad. But Mr. Arvizu, you really do push us, obviously, and thank you for your vision and everything you do for us. As we say at San Luis, it is a great day to be a Sidewinder. Thank you guys very much for this award.
It's always great when your boss is your +1, so congratulations.
Timothy, I'll give you my number later. I'll find you friends. So Dr. Daniel Kaur, our president of Arizona Western College, is proud of the Outstanding Teachers of the Year in the college category. We will be honoring 2 teachers, one a part-time instructor and the other a full-time instructor. These individuals do not compete for selection as Yuma County Teacher of the Year. Each of these individuals are selected by their peers and their campus administration. This year's honoree in the part-time college faculty is Kathleen Ocampo, Professor of Psychology at Arizona Western College.
Hi everybody, my name is Kathleen Ocampo and I am the very honored recipient for the Teacher of the Year Award for Adjunct Faculty with Arizona Western College. I'd say some of the best times or some of the best parts of actually working with students in the classroom is things like having those critical thinking moments or sharing in that learning environment where we're actually able to learn from one another, and it's not just me to them, but it's a very universal type learning process. I also enjoy being able to have that open dialogue and really talking about those social problems or things that are currently taking place in our community and our country that really matter. So all of those current topics and working with them to apply what they're learning from their textbook and within their learning classroom and environment to be able to apply it to the everyday world around them and to themselves. I told myself that I wouldn't go on and on when I'm talking today, so this is what I would like to say. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for continuing to have a platform such as this for myself and my peers to be recognized for the amount of dedication and hard work that we put towards our passion, which is teaching and providing instruction within the classroom and learning with our students. So thank you very much. I hope everybody has a great day, and congratulations to everyone.
This year's honoree in the full-time college faculty category is Deltrina Grimes, Professor of Music at Arizona Western College.
It is with great pride and honor that I accept the award of Teacher of the Year from Arizona Western College. In my 10 years as a faculty member, I have been nominated several times and have always felt extremely proud to know that my students thought enough of me to take time out of their busy schedules to nominate me for this award. Winning the award has elevated that sense of pride and self-worth to another level, because not only do the students believe that I am serving them well, but the AWC faculty and staff has shown that they also value the work that I do serving our students. Having said that, I am keenly aware that no one person achieves this award without the help and support of others. So I thank my fine arts colleagues, especially the music department, also the supportive faculty and staff at AWC. I say thank you to all of the teachers that took the time to model great teaching to me and to serve as mentors. A special thank you to my family, especially my mother and my husband, Alan, and our 2 children who endured my crazy work hours because they understood the level of dedication that I have for each of my students and the work that I do. But most of all, I send a heartfelt thank you to all of the students that I have taught in the past 10 years. Thank you, students, for challenging me. This afforded me the opportunity to think outside the box. Thank you for inspiring me to be the best teacher that I can be each day. You have truly shaped how I respond and interact with you as an educator. I will always cherish and honor this award. Thank you.
Congratulations to Deltrina.
My friend Dr. Michael Sabbath, Associate Vice President, NAU Yuma Campus, is proud to honor the winners from the university. This year's honoree in the part-time university category is Ted Cesar, Professor of Arts and Sciences, NAU Yuma 2021, Part-Time Teacher of the Year.
Having never been named anything of the year before, I was shocked and bewildered when I got the news. I wondered, how could this even happen? But I'm extremely honored and grateful for this totally unexpected award. I want to thank the wonderful people at NAU Yuma who have made it possible for me to receive this award. First of all, Dr. Michael Sabbath, the CEO of the NAU Yuma campus, Dr. Ruth Whistler, the director of the BASW program, full-time professor Kara Ahern, office staff Lisa Newton, and the other part-time instructors, Rose Lichtenfels, Alex Valenzuela, Christine Garcia, and Monica Ketchum. Each one of them far more deserving of this award than I am. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of this great team. I also want to thank my beautiful family for being so supportive. My incredibly supportive wife of 36 years, Mina, a retired educator. My son, Michael, and his wife, Joy, both excellent educators. And my grandson, Luke, a soon-to-be teenager. My son, Stephen, who's also a social worker, but a much better one than I ever was. And his wife, Liz, also a teacher. And my brilliant and beautiful daughter, Kimberly, a teacher of the visually impaired, and her husband, Josh, a recently licensed paramedic and firefighter. I love you all and so thankful to have you in my life. I was 2 years into a very comfortable retirement when I got a call from Bill Peterson asking if I would like to teach the field practicum course for the BASW program. After a couple seconds of deep thought, I said yes, absolutely, pending approval from my wife, of course. After a 40-year career in social work, mostly in management and administration, the opportunity to work directly with young students and usher them into the amazing profession of social work was very exciting. The need for well-trained social workers has never been greater. Anxiety and depression are at an all-time high. The year-long effects of the coronavirus have been devastating and disruptive to every aspect of our lives. Violence against immigrants and people of color is rampant. Gun violence is an everyday occurrence in our country. Unemployment, homelessness, poverty, and hunger persist in the richest country on earth. Arguably, the most dire problem we face, global warming, threatens our very existence. These are just some of the problems our students will face when they enter the field of social work. The NAU Yuma BASW program is giving these students the knowledge and skills necessary to attack these issues head on. I know they will do so with the compassion, dedication, and empathy that they've demonstrated each day during this program, and we're all better for it. I'm extremely proud to be able to play a small role in helping these students prepare for rich and rewarding careers in social work. In closing, I again want to thank all the wonderful people at NAU Yuma for this award and for the opportunity to work for such a great university. I'm extremely thankful and grateful. Thank you.
As an adjunct professor myself, I know how challenging it can be, and especially during the COVID time, how difficult it was for professors to pivot, and they did so with excellence. So congratulations. This year's honoree in the full-time university category is Professor B. Randy Martin, NAU Yuma Senior Lecturer of the Education Department of Northern Arizona University, Yuma.
It is said that there are 4 stages to a career. The first stage is, who is Randy Martin? The second stage is, maybe Randy Martin can do this job. The one after that is, what we really need is a young Randy Martin. And the final stage is, who is Randy Martin? So on that continuum, I'm somewhere between the 4th stage and the 3rd, and I've been designated Teacher of the Year. And it's an honor and a privilege. And I hope that I'm worthy, because there's so many good teachers wherever there are schools that it's a high standard to reach. But I'm not a self-made man. Isaac Newton said that if I have seen farther than others, it's because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. And I too have stood on the shoulders of giants. Just mostly people that you don't know, and other people are ignorant of. They've taught me pedagogical skills, of course, because that's how teachers learn how to teach. But they've also taught me more practical, existential skills and insights on how to act and how to be. They didn't do this because they had to, but because they thought it was the right thing to do. I'm sure we all know people like that. I can't possibly tell you about all these people, but I'll tell you about a representative few. People like Merlene Smith. I taught next door to her when I first got to town in 1974. It was at Mary Elizabeth Post School, and I'll tell you my ghost story if you buy me a beer. But back to Merlene. I was in her room complaining about parents and wondering why they didn't do a better job or something. I had no moral authority. I had no kids, and I wasn't much more than a kid myself. But she looked at me patiently, and she waited for me to finish my diatribe. And then she said, "They send us the best ones they have, Randy. It's not like they keep the good ones at home." Not only did I become a better teacher, but I became a better human being, because she told me a truth that I should have known but didn't. Then there are people like Wiley Horton. Wiley was a big country boy, went to college on a basketball scholarship, shop teacher at 4th Avenue, and the first one I ever saw that wasn't openly dismissive of girls who were making sawdust. Everybody liked Wiley. We were on lunch duty one day. Wiley probably hadn't said 2 words during the time that we were out there, and a fight broke out across campus. I leaned in that direction, beginning to move towards the action, and Wiley put his hand on my shoulder. It was about the size of a catcher's mitt, as I recall. It was like being anchored to the immovable object. "Son," he said, "don't ever run to a fight." What he knew that I didn't was that you didn't have to hurry most of the time. Somebody would see you moving and tell everybody else, and the fight would stop. And if it didn't stop, you didn't want to get there too soon. You might get hurt yourself. Real practical stuff. Susan Pond added to my store of what we might call wisdom of practice. She knew more than I possibly could have learned about early childhood. After I asked an apparently ill-informed question, she said, "You know, the important thing to remember about young kids is that a 3-year-old is not half a 6-year-old. They're completely different creatures." And it's true. They grow and develop and become different people entirely. And that doesn't stop when they're 7. You have to give them room to grow. And again, that's just a sample of the wisdom that I was taught by people who knew more than I did. I could talk about others, but you need to collect and tell your own stories. And I've also learned from kids. Usually when I was really confident that I knew what I was doing. I once suspended a kid for telling a teacher to do something anatomically impossible. His parents were migrant farm workers. As I was driving him home, I stopped by a lettuce field. I went into my full counselor mode. It's probably a lot like your full counselor mode. "Look," I said, pointing at the field workers, "you're not stupid. You could be anything you wanted to be. Do you want to do that for a living?" He said, "Yes." And it took me a minute to process and register that he had given me the wrong answer. See, when we looked at those fields, we saw completely different things. I was imposing my expectations on him. Who am I to do that? He made me a better listener. And I have to thank parents for trusting me. When I think of parents, I think of Mrs. Dominguez. Her son was in one of my first classes when I got here. It was parent-teacher conference day, and she stopped at the receptionist's office to see where her son's teacher was. "Mr. Martin's room is in room 105, the receptionist said. "Oh no," Mrs. Dominguez said. "My son's teacher's name is Martin." And among a certain population of friends and colleagues, I have been Martin ever since. Mrs. Dominguez was a sweet, sweet lady, made me tamales at Christmas. Somebody had to tell me what that meant. And it was my introduction to a people and a culture that I've come to love and admire. Parents' trust has been miraculous. I hope I've earned it. So next year is my final year of full-time teaching. I will have been a professional educator for 50 years. Lasting that long actually isn't virtue. It just took me that long to be competent. And it's been a hell of a ride. I'd do it all over again, but better, hopefully. Thanks for letting me be a part of something that's bigger than us all, and for allowing me to work beside you all these years. I do not believe that there's a better teaching population anywhere. I wish you all well.
And now you know why he's a senior lecturer. Good job, Randy, and congratulations.
So as a reminder, our Yuma County Teacher of the Year winner receives a trip to Hawaii from Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management, a Paul Harris Fellowship from Yuma Rotary Clubs, and an NEU tuition voucher. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the 2021 Yuma County Teacher of the Year. Whoever named this is, my bags are packed and I'm ready. Don't worry about my wife. It's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. And the winner is Christopher Freitney.
Thank you. I gotta say, growing up here in Yuma, I was really excited about it. because I was young. It was my first town. And getting to work with students, with teachers growing up, it was incredible because they gave me a lot of hope. And they really instilled into me a value of helping others. And I'm glad that I get to do this for a living. I get to help people. It's exciting. Being a Yuma native, giving back to the community, that's what it's all about. And I get to do that every day. And I'm in shock. So this is amazing. Thank you to the Educational Foundation. Thank you to the Rotary for setting this up for us, because this is an incredible job, and it's just so nice to have these moments. And I guess one of my favorite quotes that I always think about whenever things are going on, you always got to remember, Excelsior, because that'll push us forward. Thank you very much.
They're talking about champagne over there already. Wow, nice. Well, congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you everyone who joined us here tonight at AWC and virtually. Have a wonderful evening.